welcome back to Ozarks Live. Brian Ash is with us today, the owner of Calibrate Marketing. What is it that sets Calibrate Marketing? What makes it different than other marketing agencies?
Well, my background as a small business owner kind of drives everything that we do. So I've kind of been in a business owner's shoes, so I recommend what I do if it was my business. Main focus is websites, search engine optimization, stuff like that.
So that's the kind of thing that a lot of people, and I don't mean necessarily older businesses, but businesses who really haven't stepped into the digital range quite as much. There's a lot of things now that you have to think about that you didn't used to have to think about.
I think older is the right word.
Is
I mean,
it?
more established.
Right.
A lot of times they're not in that kind of marketplace.
Right, they probably know they need to do it, but they just haven't necessarily got there yet. So we're there to help them, hold their hand a little bit, tell them this is what matters, don't worry about this part. We can take care of this for you. So that's kind of our forte.
How surprising is it to some of your clients when you bring up some of the digital spaces that are out there? I mean, I know people hear about it and they say, you know, I don't have time for that. I don't have time for Facebook. I have time for Twitter. I don't have time for this or that. And what kind of reactions do you get from people?
Honestly, there's so many that even I can't keep up. So I kind of just tell them to focus on the main ones that I want to do is where do you show up if somebody Googles you?
Yes.
That's the main thing that I care about, because you can be active on Facebook, you can do whatever, but generally when someone's ready to pull the trigger, they're looking for your type of business. They may not know you exist, but they're looking for a plumber, a restaurant, whatever. First thing they're going to do is grab that smartphone and Google it. And if you're out of sight, you're out of mind.
So you can sort of help move them up and put them in a space that they're going to see you before they see the other guy. Right?
Absolutely. And I tell people it's almost like having a superpower, or you kind of get to pick and choose who wins or whatever. So I take that really carefully, and I only like to work with businesses that I feel comfortable helping move to the front of the pack.
Now, to what depth do you go? Because it's one thing, you know, to create a Facebook page or whatever it might be, but people still feel they're left kind of, you know, treading water. They don't know where to go from there. Do you keep on this? Is it a daily process, a weekly? How does it work?
Yeah,
and I'll tell you what definitely changes all the time is trying to perform well in Google. Google's always changing the rules. They're always making it harder for guys like me, and that's okay. All Google's trying to do is read your mind. When you type something into Google, Google's trying to read your mind and it wants to give you exactly what you want. So if you look for restaurant Springfield, Missouri, and the only thing that shows up is Viagra ads, you can be like, Google, you're junk. I don't like that.
Yeah.
So as people start to game the system, they're always having to change, well, what's important and what's not. So it's our job to keep on top of all that and make sure that if you're looking for a restaurant in Springfield, Missouri, I'm going to try and make you be the first restaurant that shows up.
That is really interesting. I mean, I think when some people hear the word analytics, they just go, I have no idea what that means. I mean, and you need to know who's coming to your site and who's watching and where they're going to find you and what's happening with the competition.
Right, because honestly, getting someone to your website is just half the battle. Then you've got to give a positive first impression of the business when you go there, because if you take them to your website, but it's a crappy website and it doesn't look professional, you're not putting your best foot forward, well, then they're going to bounce right back off there. So besides just trying to get someone to the website, we want to make sure that there's a great first impression when they get there.
And part of it is also, I think people think, well, you know, I don't need this, or yeah, I don't fit that kind of model. Can you start with any type of business at any sort of position? Can you help people out?
Sure. I mean, honestly, I think in 2017, every business uses a website. That is how people, they kind of do their homework on a business before they actually go in the brick and mortar store. They still want to kind of check you out, check your reviews. And so I want when someone visits the website that they feel like, okay, these guys seem solid. They seem like they know what they're talking about. They seem friendly. Yeah, I'll take that next step and either call them or email them or actually walk in the door.
That's a good point, because you do, you know, regardless of what you're looking for, a restaurant or something like that, you might find one that pops up.
Right.
But then once you click around, it's got to follow up with you. Because you may think to yourself, you know, there's some reason they rose to the top. Let's make darn sure it's the reason that I want to go there. How did 1 Million Cups help you out?
Well, the great thing about 1 Million Cups is it's kind of like by entrepreneurs for entrepreneurs. So when I went to 1 Million Cups, I sort of shared our story of how we got started and how we got there, because other people in the audience, maybe they're trying to start a business, and so they'd like to learn what was your secret sauce and how'd you do it. And then at the end, after you've told your story, they ask lots of great questions. The thing that we shared is we're trying to grow our business, and they gave some good ideas on things to consider.
Very good. You learn a lot, I know, and you step out there when you do that because you have to be
True.
ready for about anything. But look at where you are now. So,
And if people want to know more about the
Yeah.
services that you offer, and how do they get a hold of you?
Find us online, do a Google search. If you do marketing Springfield, Missouri, if we're not the first thing that show up, we ought to be. But it's Calibrate Marketing. If you go to calibrateyouраds.com, we're not hard to find.
all right, very
very
good. Brian
good.
Ash, thank you so much. Very
All right.
Thanks,
interesting.
Brian.
Well, I greatly appreciate you having me.
We wish you continued success.
Thank you.
Maybe you'll come back on again one day. All right,
All right,
up next.
yeah.
You want me to read this or
No,
you?
you go ahead.
All right, I'll read it. Another step in retirement planning, dollars and cents with Bruce Porter, who's right over there, is going to join us right over here. We'll be right back.